Welcome back. As earlier we said, we're going to be shedding light over Kitf initiative, or shoulder to shoulder initiative, the biggest of its kind before the holy month of Ramadan, that was initiated actually way before that. And according to the directives of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, it was formed by the National Alliance for Civil Development Work, and on top of them Hayya Karima, of course, or Decent Life. And the celebration was aimed at providing the Egyptian citizens, the low-income brackets, with to secure their food needs and with supplements before the holy month. And it was a beautiful surprise. It gathered almost a lot of numbers of people who attended them at the Cairo Stadium yesterday, with the attendance of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli. And on that particular major event, we're very delighted to be having with us Dr. Nevin Nakhla. She's a professor of management. Good morning, Dr. Nakhla.
Good morning to you and to all our viewers. I'm fine, thank you.
Of course, the whole of Egypt witnessed the inauguration of Shoulder to Shoulder initiative and the empowerment and enforcement of the Egyptian presidency, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi attending the event and even giving a powerful speech, very impressive, to be able to express his gratitude for the volunteers and also to enforce the people to do more and more during the holy month of Ramadan. If you like, first to shed some light over yesterday's event at the Cairo Stadium.
Yes, yesterday's event, the best word that comes to my mind now to say, it was a wholehearted feeling. It was a feeling of solidarity under the auspice and the presence of our beloved President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. The National Alliance for Civil Development Action launched the Shoulder to Shoulder initiative, the largest ever charitable event in all Egypt and all the world. The launch, as you mentioned, took place in the Cairo Stadium. The stadium was packed, overbooked with youth and with men, women, children, in a parade and love and respect and solidarity. It also included the celebrating the efforts of 300,000 volunteers. Youth participated in packing and in distributing 6 million cartons of food to all governorates of Egypt. And we saw that yesterday on air, His Excellency was talking to representatives from all the governorates of Egypt, and they had volunteers from all ages behind the scene preparing for these cartons before the blessed month of Ramadan, which comes with the joy of giving to the community and to the needy people.
Right. Yes, please, if you like to elaborate.
This was in order to reinforce the principle of social solidarity among the people of the country. Of course, we are known that all Egyptians, we like to work and we like to give charitable work, but this was a way of governance for the whole NGOs to support the culture of voluntary work that helps in expanding the social protection network through the efforts made by the state in cooperation with the civil society institutions, organizations, partners in the development process of the Egyptian state. We saw that everyone was putting hands together in a very organized matter on all Egypt and in all governorates.
Right. Of course, as we all know, that this alliance is an umbrella of different civil society organizations that were formed earlier last year before.
Yes.
They were 24 before, and now they are 33.
Exactly.
They're comprising major civil societies, like, of course, Decent Life, like Sunna al-Khair, Sunna al-Hayah. There are also health civil societies, to be able to empower the health of women, as we all know, and they come a long way. There is also Safi Group, Sinai Sons, and everything. Give us an idea about the amount. How far have they come until now to be able to secure the food needs of the low-income brackets in the governorates, different governorates, especially that we have witnessed only a week ago the inauguration of the new menu, and even not only food security, but also very impressive projects that were effected by Hayat Karima and other civil society organizations, and was inaugurated by the president.
Yes. First of all, Decent Life initiatives working on the ground in more than 4,000 villages all over Egypt and in all governorates. This was a miracle in itself, and was a great work for the infrastructure and giving decent life to all these houses and all these people, building schools, building hospitals, all this. We see the initiative of Shoulder to Shoulder is there to complete the capacity building, to complete the human interaction, not only the infrastructure, but with the awareness, with the youth being volunteers. We saw 300,000 young men and women and even children to collaborate together and work together for giving good to the people. We saw the love of the youth and the love of the people to Egypt and to our beloved president. This, as I said, it was a wholehearted event and a wholehearted initiative to all our country. We also saw part of the scene yesterday of the trucks as a parade and the youth standing shoulder to shoulder to give a message to the world that Egyptians, okay, we all know that the world is passing through economic crisis. Egypt is passing also through challenges in economic as all the world. But we saw how Egyptians changed the challenge into opportunity and changed the challenges into strength and into solidarity together. His Excellency also, when he arrived yesterday, the youth volunteers, I'm sure you saw how the youth gathered around him, talking to him, taking photos, and his very encouraging words to the youth. He thanks each and every organization, and each and every NGO, and each and every person and segment. He spoke about the different segments and different people working together and putting hands together from Alexandria to Upper Egypt to everywhere. Even he mentioned youth from Halayb and Shalatin in this initiative. We are sharing shoulder to shoulder in goodwill. Also, he said that if we all collaborate to reduce the stress on less fortunate and needy people, we give happiness to the people. These youth will knock doors of 6 million people, will knock doors and will shake hands and will take care of 6 million people on the ground. And it was said that this initiative will reach more than 25 million Egyptians for more than 60 tons of food products. And the Goodwill Kitchen during the holy month of Ramadan, this is also, imagine the Goodwill Kitchen, how many women will work cooking for others. This is Egypt, and these are the Egyptians. It's a role model to the world.
Right. Apart from the impressive work that is done by those civil society organizations, there is also something amazing that is effected according to this umbrella of civil society, which is spreading the awareness of the idea or the culture of volunteering. Yes. The culture of volunteering has been there, and it's a good spirit that some people share. Some people probably don't have enough idea about, or they were not really acquainted with in their early beginnings in a right way. But these organizations and this alliance have effected success in trying to spread the culture of volunteering for the best interest of the society, and for the benefit of, the elderly, the benefit of the low income brackets, the benefit of the needy people. Lots and lots of values. And
Yes.
they have succeeded profoundly in it. Talk to us
Yes.
about that.
You know that we are a young population. Egypt is a young population, and encouraging youth to put their hands together. Of course, Egypt is full of security and safety and stability, and this initiative and other initiatives from last year, when it was the year of social society, 2022 was the year of social society in Egypt. And since then, a lot of ministries and a lot of NGOs started initiating a lot of youth to serve their country, and a lot of youth to volunteer. And with this initiative, as I said, it's like a governance of all these efforts along the way since last year. Youth, they are our investment, and they are our power and our strength. So when they get together and when they feel the happiness of sharing and the happiness of volunteer work, and their power, to put their power in the volunteer work, they get each other. So in this short time, to have 300,000 volunteers on the ground working very organized work together. This is the future, and this is, I'm sure that after a week or two, after yesterday, great, wholehearted and heart-touching initiative and get-together. I was in the stadium yesterday, and the feeling is amazing with all these youth singing to Egypt and really happy to give and happy to be volunteers, to give from their time and effort. And we're in the middle of studying, we're not in summer, so they are really giving from their precious time. And the happiness of giving, this is the Egyptian youth. And I'm sure after a week or two or a month, the 300,000 will be millions and millions of volunteers. And of course, these volunteers, they come together with a lot of TOC, a lot of awareness, a lot of capacity building. The NGOs and the civil society, when they choose the volunteers, you can't imagine how organized they are. They have a leader, they have a smaller departments or sections in different governorates. They get together in a lot of Zoom meetings. They have a lot of training, a lot of capacity building. All these activities will affect our community positively, because they will go back to their homes and to their community with a lot of capacity building, a lot of awareness, a lot of knowledge. These youth, 2 years ago, they didn't understand why Decent Life Initiative. People in the street were asking, why are you doing the canals? Why are you doing green? Why are you doing roads? Why are you doing bridges? Now, if you stand with one of these volunteers and ask them, they know why. They have the vision of the country, the vision of the political will. They know where Egypt is heading. And we are in the same train, all working in the same strategy. There is a big view and big strategic goal of the country. And our youth is not only executing, but also sharing the political will and sharing in the decision making. empowering youth is not by words and not by ink on paper. It's taking place on the ground. Did you see the young youth who were talking to His Excellency yesterday on stage? One of the ladies touched my heart when she said she started as a small volunteer in one of the small villages, and today she is responsible for 10,000 volunteers. And they are her personal responsibility, and she's 20-something years old. This is real youth empowerment and real building a pipeline of leaders. These are strong leaders of Egypt,
Right.
educated and knowledgeable and empowered by our president and by our political will. And they work on the ground, so they know the exact need of people. They are not sitting in the air conditioning in one of the buildings up there. No, they're working on the ground, knocking doors, talking to people, coming back to the political will and to their leaders, stating the real needs for serving, and the great getting together and solidarity of all the NGOs and all the social workers on the ground and volunteers, and with a very ethical governance of who will work in what. Someone will work in the kitchen, someone will work in the health section, someone will work in the foodstuff distribution of the 60,000 cartons, which will be 25 million houses. This is amazing. This is Egypt, and this is a role model to the whole world.
Right. Speaking about the villages, yesterday over the theater also, we all witnessed on the screens, there were different screens that were showing instantly what was happening all over the governorates of Egypt. I mean, these initiatives and these campaigns, social campaigns and social protection networks have reached every single corner on the land of Egypt. They have stretched out their hands amazingly according to strategies, according to surveys, monitoring the most needy people, not just distributing things haphazardly, but also doing their own work and surveying the most needy people. Among those places, even they reached one strategic part that was considered for almost 30 years as a dead part, as a land for terrorism and everything. Sinai. Sinai was spread by this civil society, and help was stretched out to the people of Sinai. And even there is a civil organization inside Sinai that is spreading to the rest of the other governorates. And they are very keen on participating in this particular huge social project. Talk to us about the civil work in Sinai in particular and Sinai Sons.
Yes. Yesterday, luckily, I was standing in the same department beside the Sinai, the people from Sinai. And I wish you heard Long Live Egypt was so loud and so touchy. And not only one organization that reached Sinai, many organizations and many NGOs reached Sinai with real development. Not only, the carton distribution of food, it's just a symbol, but there is great market need assessment and the great need assessment on the ground from these organizations and social society volunteers and people working on the ground. A lot of development and a lot of work taking place over there. People, they felt that they are really part of Egypt and they are cared about. His Excellency yesterday said that today gathering is an answer that Egypt, with its people and good help, will move strongly forward in a very human and kind gesture. Talked also to the youngest volunteers in the video and in the screen. He called the young girls by their names. and spoke to them. So this is reached to the people, reached to the people in Sinai, reached to the people in Halayb and Shalatin on the most far away area of Egypt. The work is reached to each and every Egyptian on the ground. And as you said, in old days, things were done ink on paper. Things were done just to take a photo or to say that we did. But now, with the great volunteers on the ground, with the knocking doors, and the assessment, the real assessment of who needs and who doesn't need. We saw Takaful and Karama. We saw a lot of real on-the-ground initiatives, collecting data, even the 100 million health initiative, testing the sugar blood and testing the virus T. So many years ago, it was a tool of need assessment. It was a tool of data collection of real pandemic or real health issues. Anemia was monitored in different areas in children in Egypt, and actions are taken towards this file, a health file. Genetic, even the genetic things that were discovered and working on it on the ground, tackling very strongly, tackling any issue that has been discovered and monitored all over the governorate.
Right. Right.
Factories are being built in different places.
Exactly.
Economical empowerment has taken place. A lot.
Right. Dr. Nevin Nakhla, the Professor of Management, I'd like to thank you so much and wish you all the best of luck. And thank you to talking to the Breakfast Show today. And we're going to go to a short break and we'll come to continue the Breakfast Show, so stay with us.